everyone. I'm going to show you the cards I made using the Beautiful Day Simon Says Stamp Card Kit. It's been cloudy and rainy in St. Louis for weeks, and so I really got into the spring feel of things with these cards. Here are the first cards I made. So this one I embossed the background and colored it with a distress crayon. And this one I colored the paper with distressed crayon, and then I lifted some of the color with stencils, and I cut out a heart. So you can see that I used the positive and the negative to make two cards. I did the same thing with these two cards. I stamped the background with distress ink. Then I cut out a rectangle, and I used the leftover frame to make this card. I used the stencil to make this pink butterfly, and then I stamped an image onto it using pink distress ink. So both the butterfly and the image were stamped with picked raspberry. This card, I used the brush that came with the kit to brush on the color, and I did a rainbow effect. I found that I could brush on the color and then wipe my brush and go to the next color and not have any problem. So that's how I created the background. Then I used the stencil, and I used the color that I was over to stencil each butterfly. So this one I used picked raspberry, carved pumpkin, squeezed lemonade, and so on. Here's another one that I did using the distress crayons, and then I stenciled over that background with the stencil from the kit. And then here's the next one I used the distress crayon. You can kind of see I was on a distress crayon kick for a bit. I lifted some of the color with different stencils, and then I stamped the butterflies and embossed them using white embossing powder. This one I used the brush again, and I smushed some distress ink. That's what I did on this one, and then I stenciled over it using the stencil, and then I scribbled over it with some distress crayons. And you can see I stamped the little sentiments using the color of distress ink that I was on. So picked raspberry, squeezed lemonade, mermaid lagoon. This one I used distressed crayons again and made a rainbow, and then again lifted the ink using stencils. And colored my butterflies with some Copic markers. And here just are some more cards that I made. These are just using some of the paper from the kit. This one was a copy of one on the inspiration sheet from Yanis Mikula. I changed the color of my butterfly, but I just love that card. I had to make it. Here's another one. This time I did my butterfly in red. This one I used some green paper that I had, and then a piece of the pattern paper from the kit. I try not to waste any of the paper because I like to make as many cards as I can from the card kit. So here is one I used that blue ledger paper, And then here's another one I made with the other side. I didn't get the lipstick pink paper in my kit. Mine had an orange paper, so I used orange on there as an accent. And here's another one, all featuring paper from the kit. And this one, I used a friend die that I had, and then I used the negative space to make this card. This one I stamped the butterflies with distress ink. Then I put in dots of distress crayon and kind of swiped it across with baby wipe, and it gave me that effect, and I kind of liked it. Here is one that just is pretty much a very simple card using the pattern paper, and the little bit of frame that I had left from this one I used on this card. So here's the outside of this card's paper. And another one just with a lot of the pattern paper and just a focal point of a butterfly. And then my very last card, I think I got 22 out of this kit so far, and I still have several sheets of pattern paper left. This one I used some alcohol ink that came in the Simon Says Stamp Spring Easter Special Edition kit, and I was playing around with the alcohol ink, and I thought it kind of looked like a soft spring meadow, so I used it as a background for this last card. I hope you enjoyed seeing the cards I made with this kit. I really loved this kit, and was really in the spring spirit with butterflies. So thanks for joining me.